welcome to today's video. We are going to be getting ready together today. I need to put some makeup on. We are going to do like a holiday glam type of look. I'm excited. Let's jump into it. Getting started, I do want to say thank you so much to Sigma Beauty for sponsoring today's video. I'm going to be showing you some of my Sigma favorites as we get ready together today. We are going to chat. We're going to do a holiday inspired look, and Sigma Beauty is having their semi-annual sale right now going to December 27th, and you can stack my affiliate code HeatherAustin10 to get an extra discount, which I think is so awesome. I am super excited about that. They have a lot of awesome stuff on sale. I will be linking everything I talk about down below in the description box, so definitely check there if you are curious about anything. There will be links, my affiliate code, everything will be in the description box, and I'm also going to tag everything in YouTube's new shopping feature. You've probably seen it here on my channel, on other creators' channel, but YouTube is now letting us like tag the products. You probably see them under me right now, so that you can kind of just click directly on the product, and if you want to shop, you can shop directly like in the YouTube app without like leaving the video, which I think is pretty convenient. So definitely check there if you have any questions about anything that I'm using today, and we'll definitely chat as I go along. But I do have my primer on my face already. We definitely need to put some foundation on. I want to do a holiday look. I want to do like a sultry type of eye, a red type of lip. I've got my Christmas red on. I'm ready. So I'm going to push my hair back. I'm going to zoom y'all in, and we're going to put some makeup on. All right, y'all, getting started. I do have my primer on, but I am going to just color correct a little bit under my eyes because I have been so busy with the holidays. I'm using my Spectrum Color Correcting Duo in medium to dark, and then I'm using my E28 Detail Buffer brush. This is my favorite color corrector. I actually have a friend hooked on this now too because it definitely covers and helps me look more awake. I'm into this one, but also with Sigma, I wanted to mention this because maybe you, like me, have not done any Christmas shopping yet, and I mean any, like zero Christmas shopping. Sigma says if you order by December 15th, you will get it by Christmas, which I honestly need to get on the ball and get some things ordered, and I'm definitely going to be checking shipping times. And I definitely have gifted Sigma things. I definitely have gifted Sigma things, and we can talk about that because let me put on my lip oil. I love to put on a lip oil, a lip mask. If you've been at my channel, you know this. I usually start my videos in a lip oil, a lip mask, and then at the end I put my lip color on, and my lips are nice and hydrated because I do not want dry, crusty lips, especially in the winter time. You know, like it's cold outside. But I'm using the Sigma Renew Lip Oil, and I am using the shade Tranquil. I have several of these. I have one here, I have one in my car, I have one in my purse. I love taking this. This is what I took with me when I traveled recently to Vegas, and I need to go on the site while they're on sale and get some of these to put in my mom's stocking because she was just asking me for these. I was like asking her what she wanted for Christmas, and you know, asking her if she needed any makeup or anything, and she was like, I really like that oil with the silver top. And I was like, oh, the Sigma lip oils. And she was like, yes. So I'm gonna put that on her list for me to get for her, because I know I've given her 2 in the past year and she is just panning them, which she works in healthcare. I worked in healthcare for 15 years. You're wearing a mask, you're with patients, you get dry. This is easy to have in your work bag. And I'm sure my sister-in-law is going to want them too. So I need to order her some as well. But I'm going to grab my foundation. I'm going to kind of blend my shade and we'll apply that. I'm feeling in a super chatty mood today, so this is probably going to be a long one. Okay, so I want to get my foundation on. I want my skin to look flawless. Flawless is the word. But no, I want it to look like skin. I do have oily skin, so I want to kind of cover things, but I still want it to look like skin. I'm going to mattify with the powder in a bit. So I am choosing a foundation that's not overly glowy, that's not matte. And I'm just going to kind of press it into my skin with a brush, because for a holiday look, whether I'm going to a party or maybe like an event, like, or a friend's house for just like a hangout, something like that, I want to kind of just look like the glam version of myself. And I want my makeup to last, because usually when I'm out for something, I'm out for a long time. So I'm just going to press this into my skin. So for this foundation, I'm using my Sigma, of course, F47 Multitasker brush. And this looks pretty like this because it is the Alice in Wonderland collection. And I would say the #1 product that I get asked about, not on YouTube, not on social media, but like in my face-to-face interactions with friends, acquaintances, all of that, is what brushes do I recommend? Like, what brushes should I get? And I'm usually like, okay, what kind of brushes? Like, give me something specific. Face, eye. But I think like makeup brush sets are the perfect gift. I'm always recommending Sigma, of course, because they're wonderful brushes, but they are vegan, they are cruelty-free, they have a 2-year warranty. So if something happens to your brush, I've never had a Sigma brush break, but if it did, they have a 2-year warranty, so I could get it replaced. And I like that because I don't want to recommend something to friends, family, to y'all that, you know, I don't think is good quality, of course. So these brushes would make such a good gift. My personal favorite, I mean, listen, I have a favorites brush set with Sigma. As of right now, as of the time of filming it, it is still sold out, but I did talk to Sigma and they are working to get it back in stock before the end of the sale. But I love the Disney brush sets, okay? Like, I love it because it's like luxury Disney, you know? It's a luxury vibes, and I like that. It's like Disney for me, you know? I love it. It's kind of more grown up. I love the Alice in Wonderland brushes and the Cinderella brushes. Like, I bought the Cinderella full collection when it launched. I have such a clear memory. I remember I was on vacation with my family when the Sigma Cinderella collection launched, and I bought the full box. And no regrets. I brought all the brushes, I bought the palette, everything, and I think it would just be such a good gift. I remember my niece was just a baby and she was like in my lap. I had the laptop. I was like placing my order at launch time because I was so scared it was going to sell out. And I think their brush sets, any of the brush sets would make a great gift if you're looking for somebody who's maybe like not like me and wouldn't want a Disney set. They definitely have like beautiful sets. They have the traditional, like with the black black handle and everything, but I really get so much happiness when I pull Alice or Belle. There's a Beauty and the Beast set, or Cinderella, or any of them. So that's what I'm using now, and I'll use this for my concealer too, but I'm gonna let the concealer under my eyes set for a few minutes before we blend it out. Okay, so I will link this Alice in Wonderland. I will link the brushes down below, but I will also link not in the Alice in Wonderland packaging. I will do just the F47. I always fill up my description boxes. If you don't know, if you are new here, hi. My description boxes are always a plethora of information, but I'm just going to press in my concealer now with my 3D HD sponge. I love this one. I really like how it comes to this point. I know it also comes in pink, but I'm gonna use my black one today and just press in that concealer. Okay, before I set down with powder, I want to go in with cream blush. This is the Sigma Cream Blush in Nearly Wild. I love this blush. I have a shorts here on YouTube to where I am swatching all of the cream blushes, but I really like the formula. I have oily skin and I'm living in a humid place, so I am picky when it comes to cream products in general. I need them to not lift product underneath, and I need them to not get eaten by my oils as I go about my day. You know, like if you have oily skin, you know. And these blushes are just always beautiful for me. They don't lift anything. When I set my face with powder, they still come through. I have worn these on top of a set face and underneath. Having oily skin, I usually prefer my cream products underneath powder. So that is what I'm doing today. And we're going for like a long lasting look as well. Because like I said, when I'm out for a holiday party, I'm usually out. So I'm going to go for a pretty blushed look, because when I put my highlighter on top, I want the blush to kind of be that base underneath. So I'm just going to press it in like this. And if you want to hear my thoughts on any Sigma products, I have a full Sigma playlist here on my channel. I was a Sigma customer before I was an affiliate. And if you're like, you know, I would like to see more about this, I probably have a video on it. So I will link my Sigma playlist in the description box for you. Maybe you want to watch some other videos, but I'm just going to press this in with my brush. This is actually a Sigma Samantha Ravndahl brush, and it is the Concealer Blend Kabuki. I've also used this for cream bronzer, and it's beautiful. I've used it for foundation, but I really like it for pressing in a cream blush. And I'm pretty sure, I need to look, but I know the creator sets and collaborations and all are also on discount during this semi-annual sale, which is so nice. Okay, I'm taking my sponge and I'm just gonna clean up that blush a little bit. Make sure everything is how I want it, because we are gonna set our face. I am actually gonna be using 2 powders. So I love to set my kind of under eye, T-zone, kind of the center of my face with a setting powder that is going to lock my makeup in, give me a matte finish, but today we're going for a matte, not flat type of look. So a very skin-like, like soft focus type of look. And then I usually buff in the rest of my face and set a little bit with a powder that is more close to my skin tone for like a finishing powder, just to kind of buff it all in. So I'm going to be using 2 shades. I've got my soft focus setting powder in the shade Vanilla Bean from Sigma, so kind of light. In the summer I use the shade that is one deeper than this, but it's December, so I'm going to use Vanilla Bean under my eyes and in the T-zone. And then for buffing in the rest of my face, I'm going to use the Soft Focus Setting Powder in the shade Honey. And I am going to use like kind of a large fluffy brush for setting. So let me make sure I don't need to like tap out any concealer under my eyes, because I'm not a like perfectly smooth under eye like person. I need to make sure everything is smooth before I set with my powder. Okay, so I'm going to set my under eye with my F35 tapered highlighter brush. I'm picking my powder up. I'm gonna dust it off. If you have dry skin, do not use a ton of powder. Use what you normally use. I am going in with a little extra powder. I know it's gonna look silly at first, but my skin can handle it. Like, my oily skin can handle a good amount of powder. So I pick up a good bit, like, well, a good bit. That's being a little conservative. I pick up a ton of powder and I kind of press it on, and once I kind of have it on like that, then I will start to kind of buff away, and that way my under eye is going to stay looking nice. I envy you people with dry skin who can just be like boop boop boop, done, out the door. Or some of you who don't use powder at all, like I could never. Okay, so there, I'm set, but I'm not flat matte. I'm still looking skin-like, you know, not overly glowy, just set down. Yeah, that's really pretty. So I'm going to do the same thing to the other eye and kind of the center of my forehead. I start with an excessive amount, okay? An excessive amount. Press it. And then once I have kind of all of that excess off my brush, then buff. Okay, under eyes are set. I'm gonna go in with the clean side of that sponge and just kind of press very lightly. She's a multitasker, y'all. She is a multitasker. Just to make sure like I don't have any excess powder just laying around. I'm going to grab my F24 all over powder brush now, and you see how like big this brush is, and I'm going to kind of finish setting the face. So I kind of like flop it like this to kind of get the powder there, and then I will lightly kind of buff it in. I just don't use a lot of force. I hold it very lightly. You can see like how far back I'm holding the brush. I'm not holding it like this. I'm holding it back and lightly buffing. I would love to know, do you have like fun plans for the holidays? I really love this time of year. I love a reason to celebrate anything. I do enjoy giving gifts, even though I'm like not on top of it this year. I enjoy it. Like I like having a reason to celebrate. So I would love to know, like, what is on your Christmas wish list? Please tell me. The skin is looking exactly how I wanted to, but I want to bronze before we move on. Let's bronze. Yes, I have two. I am extra. You don't have to have two, but I want to mix my shades. I have the matte bronzer. I really like the bronzer. My sister-in-law has dry skin and she really enjoys this too. So I'm going to pick this up. I'm going to use my F12 setting powder brush. Remember, the names on brushes are there to be helpful. Maybe that's what they were designed for, but you can use your brushes and your tools however you want to. Like, I'm using this setting powder brush for bronzer. I wouldn't use a brush this big if I were contouring, but I got these chipmunk cheeks and I'm not contouring, I am bronzing. I'm adding some warmth and dimension to my face, but I'm loving the way the skin looks. These bronzers definitely have some warmth to them, but I don't feel like they're overly warm. So if you don't have a warm skin tone, don't be afraid. But they're definitely not like a cool tone contour, which I don't really find works for me so much with my undertone. I do have a like olive warm leaning undertone, but these work beautifully. We are ready for shadow. I love eyeshadow, like my favorite part of makeup. So I'm gonna prime my eyes with my Sigma Ignite eyeshadow primer. I also need to buy more of these because I think this is my backup. I think I have gone through all of the ones I have. So I'm gonna prime my eyes with this. Hear me now. If you want your eyeshadow to last all day, all night, forever, Sigma eyeshadow base. They have it in different shades. So good. Deep set eyes. Like, do you see this bone right here? Do you see these creases? It keeps my shadow on. And we are going to, like, also with the oil, anyways, we are going to use these two palettes mixed, okay? This is the Earthy eyeshadow palette. So it's a new pan. I'm pretty sure this one launched this year. And we do have some green tones, but I'm mainly looking at these neutral shades that are like golden olive undertone. I love that. Is like a perfect neutral for me. And then I'm also going to use Ritzy. If you see, it has like this deeper kind of golden olive undertone brown. And then we have like deep shades here and we have these bronzy shades. So that's what I'm gonna go for. That is what I'm gonna go for. I think it's gonna be like the holiday glam that I want to happen. So I'm going to take my primer. I'm gonna put it on. I'm also going to like prime my inner corner and underneath my eye. I don't always bring my eyeshadow primer on my lower lash line, but when I want the makeup to last, I do. I definitely do. So let me grab a brush and we'll kind of press this in. Okay, I'm going to blend that in with my E55 eye shading brush. This one is from the Cinderella brush set. And it comes with this like beautiful bag, like makeup bag that is glitter, and the glitter doesn't come off on your hands. I love that. So yeah, I think that would be such a good gift. The more I talk about it, the more I'm like, Heather, I really need to get on buying gifts. But yeah, I'm just gonna kind of blend in my primer. Okay, so I have my primer on and I'm going straight in on top with my Ritzy palette. I am using my E25 brush with this shade right here from the Ritzy palette. This shade has this beautiful golden undertone to it. I mean, you can see it's a brown shade, like a mid-tone brown. Okay, so I'm gonna jump over to our Earthy palette and we're gonna take this shade right down here called Shadowy. This deep dark brown, but I really again like the undertone, and I'm gonna use that on my E57. I love this brush so much. It's one of the brushes I chose for my favorite set, and I'm going to just drag that on the lower lash line, Don't worry, it looks a little wild right now, but it will come together. Trust the process, y'all. Trust the process. That is really a pretty undertone on that brown. It's very like not warm, not cool, just kind of like right in the middle for me. So I'm just gonna buff it like that. Doesn't have to be perfect right now. We can always do more later, but we're gonna go ahead and deepen up the outer corner. I'm taking, whoa, another brush from my favorite set, the E42. And I am going to go back into Ritzy, and we're gonna go into Nocturnal. This is a matte with sparkle in it. I love this formula of shadow. It's so easy to blend. You can pack to keep the sparkle. You can buff out to get rid of the sparkle if you want. But I want to deepen up the outer corner. So I'm going to press it right there. Do you see how pigmented? Now, if you've never tried the shadows from Sigma before, they are very buildable. They are not dry at all. You can definitely get pigment like I do, how I kind of press and then blend. Or if you like to not have so much pigment right out of the jump, like you can pick up a little bit of shadow, blend, and then add more if you want. This shimmer formula, to me, is a very flattering shimmer formula. They have different ones. They have like a shimmer formula that's very smooth. And if you have like texture on your lid that you don't want to emphasize, beautiful for that. And then they also have a formula that is a little more sparkly, like a little extra, and I really love that too. So I really like shadows that I can layer as well, and I can do that with Sigma shadows. Again, I have a whole Sigma playlist you can check out if you are curious about any of their palettes, but I just find Sigma to be very consistent with their shadows. Very beautiful and consistent, which I enjoy, and I like that they mix up the formulas in their palette. You know, it's not just matte and shimmer. You have those like mattes, matte with sparkle, shimmer, more intense shimmers. Like, I enjoy that, you know, I enjoy that. I know like the new Mod palette has this duochrome type of shade that I love, but I'm just going to kind of build that up to the depth that I want, like this. I am going to now kind of buff and blend. Jumping over to my earthy palette, I want to go into Sunbaked. This shade is lighter than the first shade we started with. I am using another of my Beauty and the Beast brushes. I said Cinderella, but this is one from Beauty and the Beast, but is the E24. Again, I will link the collections that I talk about, but I'll also like link everything I can individually. So I'm taking this shadow and I'm using this to kind of like buff and diffuse and make sure I don't have any harsh lines even underneath. So just kind of like barely grazing my skin, but going back and forth. Okay, to finish up our look, I'm going to use the shade Gold Rush. This beautiful, I don't know, it's like a bronze and a silver had a baby. I'm going to use this shade, and then I'm going to use Gossamer right up here. So I am going to be using my, again, Beauty and the Beast. This is the E55 brush. I'm going to pick up Gold Rush. I'm going to spray it with a little bit of setting spray, and then we're going to put it on the lid. Okay, so with my shimmer, I'm going to kind of press it on first. And then once I kind of have it pressed off the brush, then I'll go and blend. Isn't that beautiful though? Like it's bronzy, but there's something kind of like earthy about it. I don't know. I'm here for it though. I think it's gorgeous, like absolutely gorgeous. And then we're gonna go in with Glossamer. This one is definitely more of like a smooth finish, not as intense, and I'm using an Alice in Wonderland brush. This is the E30, and I'm just going to pop that on right there. I'm going to put on liner, mascara, and a lash. I'm actually going to be using my Love Struck lashes. I'm going to trim these so that they're more of a half lash. And if you watched a recent video I did about like products I use all the time but never talk about, I talked about this lash tool. So I'll apply these lashes really quickly. This makes it easy. And then I will be back. We need to do blush, highlight, lip. Okay, y'all, we have our little Love Struck lash on, and I am feeling this eye look, but I want to go in with a powder blush. I can definitely see that beautiful cream blush peeking through, but I want to add a powder blush on top. I'm going to use actually the same exact shade that we used in the cream. This is Nearly Wild, but this is the powder blush. A little goes a long way with these from Sigma. They're not overly pigmented, but if you need pigment from your blush, you can get it with Sigma. But I'm just like one tap and then I layer like that because I don't want to do too much. I've got that cream underneath. I just want to subtle little topping of powder blush, and I'm using my, what are you called? What are you called, ma'am? The F10 powder blush brush. And again, in that kind of Cinderella packaging. So I have the beautiful Cinderella blue handle with her silhouette on the ferrule. And we're just going to lightly put on our blush, and then we're going to highlight. But for my highlighter, I love a highlighter palette, okay? I have singles, I love my singles, but there's something about a highlighter palette, like I like to custom mix a shade. So this is the Glow Kissed highlighter palette. I've had this one for so long. It looks glittery, but it doesn't rub off on your hand, which we love. But I like to kind of bounce around and pick shades, but if you love a single, get a single. I love a palette. So I think what I'm going to do, I want to use a little bit of Twilight. You can see this shade right here. And then maybe just a touch of Flare. And I'm going to put that on with my Soft Blend Concealer brush. This is the F64. So I'm just going to bounce into those two shades and buff it on my cheeks. I'm just using the mirror from the palette. Oh, isn't that a pretty glow? You can make these like super intense and blinding, like See Me from the North Pole Santa if you want, or you can go in even lighter than I am if you don't want them to be as intense. But these are not sparkly highlighters. They definitely are like glowy without the sparkle, you know? So I like to bring my highlighter down low because, listen, I used to get teased about these big old chipmunk cheeks, and now I love them, and I want to highlight them to emphasize. You don't have to highlight your nose if you don't want to. Believe me, I'm not going to bust up in your house and force you to highlight your nose or your Cupid's bow, but I love it. So I'm just going to give myself a little highlight right there. I'm feeling so ready for a party, like ready for a holiday party. For lips, I want to not do a bright red because like I'm wearing red, but a bright red would be beautiful. I want to instead go for something a little deeper. So this is the Infinity Point lipstick in Scarlet, and yeah, I still have my little lip oil on, so I'm just going to wipe that off, and let me show you this shade of lipstick. Yeah, we're gonna take that off. See, this is like a deepened red, and I think it's gonna be really pretty with our eye look. I'm going to put on a lip liner and then put on the lipstick, but let me listen. I love a magnet. Like, I love a magnet closure. I love a magnet closure so much. I love the shape of these, and I wanted to show you because when you twist this, it stays like in this shape. We love that. I know I talked about this when they first launched, but I just had to show you again because we love it. We love it. Okay, I feel so glam. I'm into it, but hear me out. Lip gloss. Listen, I'm a gloss girl. I love a gloss, so I want to put one on. The Infinity Point lipsticks are very creamy. You can see, very pretty. Definitely don't have to have a gloss if you don't want to, but I never say no to a gloss if I have the chance. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of sparkle more to the center of my lips. This is the Cinderella lip gloss. I bought this years ago and I'm still using it. It's so pretty. It has this beautiful sparkle to it that I love. This doe foot applicator. So this is the Cinderella Sigma lip gloss in Magical is the shade. I think that could also be a really good like gift idea, like a lip duo or stocking stuffer or something like that. All right, y'all, here is our finished look. Here is my holiday glam look. Thank you again to Sigma for sponsoring today's video. I will have the dates of the sale down below in the description box. Again, you can use code HeatherAustin10 to save an additional amount on their semi-annual sale. It's running until December 27th. And I will also link everything in the description box. I will list it out, and I will also put it in that new YouTube shopping feature that I think is so super easy to use. I'm feeling this look, if you could not tell, and I had fun like shopping my stash for my favorites. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Definitely let me know what's on your Christmas list. If you have any fun holiday plans, I would love to hear from you. But I am actually off to dinner. It is dinner and I am ready. I hope you're having a good day. Please do subscribe. I have so many videos coming, y'all. You have no idea, and I will see you very soon in another one. Bye.